अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna. So we are discussing on Bhagavad Gita, and Srimad Bhagavad Gita is a book for all, as we discussed before. And as we discussed before, the content of Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, these three are the main content in Bhagavad Gita. So today we will be discussing briefly on the concept of yoga, what is yoga, karma, jnana and bhakti. We should be clear in the term yoga. It is not yoga, actually it is yoga. Yoga, the present day modern concept of yoga and the real concept of yoga is different. So today, based on Gitopanishad, based on Srimad Bhagavad Gita, we will be discussing on major four terms or the concept of yoga, karma, jnana and bhakti, based on the teaching of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So first we discuss about karma. In general term, the karma means any action, work or deed and its effect or consequences. The term karma more specifically refers to the principle of cause and effect based on our deeds, often descriptively called the principle of karma, wherein intent and action of any individual cause influence the future of that individual, upcoming days of that individual effect. Good intent and good deeds contribute to good karma, and good karma brings happier life ahead or happier rebirth ahead, while bad intent and bad deeds or the bad karma contributes to bad prarabdha and bad rebirth in coming life or coming lifetime. So the concept of karma is closely associated with the idea of material existence in general, but here in Bhagavad Gita, karma comes together with yoga, means performing the prescribed duty selflessly without any attachment on that action which we performs, and all our actions are performed as an offering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Bhagavan Sri Krishna here in Bhagavad Gita personally instruct Arjuna about the necessity of performing one's prescribed duty or the karma for the pleasure of Sri Bhagavan Swayam. So once not doing the karma, so becomes as the cause of bondage, as stated in Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 9th slok, where it says यज्ञार्थात कर्मणोन्यत्र लोकोयम कर्म बंधन. Yajnarthat, the karma, the actions did as a yajna. Yajnarthat karmanonyatra loko yam karma bandhana. All the karma or all the actions we do as an offering to Vishnu. Yajnarthat means as an offering to Vishnu, as an offering, as a sacrifice in service of Yajna Purush. So Yajna Purush is Bhagavan Sri Vishnu. So any karma did as a yajnarthat, means as a yajna, as a sacrifice, as an offering to Vishnu, that are karma which will not put us in the bondage of material nature, else karma bandhana. So Bhagavan says, O son of Kunti, all actions other than the selfless performance of one's prescribed duty offered to Sri Vishnu are cause of bondage to this material world. Therefore, Bhagavan Krishna instructs us here to become free from all the desires for the fruit of our actions and perform appropriate action solely for the satisfaction of Yajna Purush Bhagavan Sri Vishnu. The word Yagyarthat in this verse means as an offering to Sri Vishnu or offered to Bhagavan Sri Vishnu. Therefore, prescribed duties should be performed solely for the pleasure of Sri Bhagavan or the Vishnu, because in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says in 5th chapter, 29th slok, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasham. He who knows Bhagavan Krishna as the enjoyer of all sacrifice or anything in this world and all austerities, all our karma, the supreme controller of all planets and the well-wisher of living entities, attains actual liberation. He also mentions in same Srimad Bhagavad Gita 3rd chapter 30th shlok, Mai sarvani karmani sannyasya matpara, all the prescribed duties should, Mai sarvani karmani, all the karma, all the prescribed duties should be performed as an offering to me, or the Bhagavan Sri Krishna, speaker of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Furthermore, in Srimad Bhagavad Gita itself, 9th chapter, 27th slok, Bhagavan Krishna says, Yat karosu yadasnosi, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you talk, you do it for my pleasure, you talk for my pleasure, you eat for my pleasure, everything you offer to me yadasnosi. So, we thus see that Bhagavan Sri Krishna instruct living entities who are eligible to perform their prescribed duty to only perform niskam or niskama. Kama means desire. Niskam means without any desire. Niskam, without any desire to enjoy its fruit. And Bhagavat Arpitaha, first it should be niskam, without any desire to enjoy the fruit. And then it should be Bhagavat Arpita karma, means not only having detachment or not only not having that mood of enjoyer, but also the karma should be Bhagavat Arpitaha, should be offered to Bhagavan Krishna. So, it should be first the work, the duty, the karma we do should be selfless work and should be offered to the Supreme Lord. So, he does not give them the instruction to merely perform their prescribed duty, but instead Bhagavan says those prescribed duty even should be offered as an offering to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Karma usually only refers to prescribed duty that is accompanied by devotion or the bhakti. Karma in which bhakti predominates over karma. Okay. We are doing karma, but bhakti predominates over the karma. That karma is known as karma mishra bhakti or pradhani bhuta bhakti. So, only when the performance of one's prescribed duty is solely for the pleasure of Bhagavan Sri Hari can it truly be termed as a karma, as stated in verse Tat karma haritoshanam yat from Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto 29th chapter. For this reason, in Srimad Bhagavad Gita 11th chapter 55th slok, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Mat karma, he says, Yah saha mam eti pandava, only he know only he, the person who performs karma for my pleasure will attend me. So here he gives the idea from karma marga or karma yoga how a person can attend Sri Bhagavan. But generally, when the devotional service, loving service, because we are selflessly doing karma as an offering to Lord, and by doing that action, by Bhagavan accepting those actions of our prescribed duty as an offering, slowly we will be gifted, or by the mercy of Sri Bhagavan, the rasa or that sweetness of bhakti, of devotional service starts pouring in our heart, and slowly even the karma first becomes karma mishra bhakti, transfers into karma mishra bhakti, and slowly will attain the stage of pure devotional service, or will attain Bhagavan Sri Krishna Swayam as Bhagavan gives guarantee in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And now it comes jnana. Jnana means knowledge. It's just if we go for a meaning of jnana, jnana means knowledge. But when jnana comes together with yoga, then it is a spiritual practice that pursues knowledge with questions such as who am I? It says jnana, actually jnana yoga starts from the question athato brahma jigyasa. When somebody starts doing the questions like who am I, what is Brahma. So, spiritual practice that pursues knowledge with the questions such as who am I, what am I, why I am here, or what is Brahma, what is my relation with Brahma. So, among others, the practitioner studies usually in the guidance of liberated sadhu, liberated soul, and he starts meditating and reflecting and start research to the stage of self, and they start researching about self, and they finally reach to the stage of self realization, the realization of self identity as soul, but not as this body. They come to the stage of knowing that we are not this material body, but this material body is given to this real me or the soul. So, they reach to the stage of self realization, or the Atma Sakshatkar we call it. So, they reach to the stage of self realization and one's relationship with Brahma. What is the relationship with that living entity with Brahma, with Parabrahma? So, Bhagavan Sri Krishna states that among the 4 kind of people who surrender to him, it is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, generally 4 kind of people surrender to Bhagavan Krishna. The distressed one called Artha, the inquisitive called Jigyasu, the seekers of wealth called Artharthis, and those who are in search of knowledge, Jnani. So, among all these Artha, Jigyasu, Artharthi and Jnani, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says Jnani are the best among these 4, those who seek for Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Even we can see in the general day to day life, people when they need money, they remember Bhagavan, they remember Krishna, they want God. Hey Bhagavan, I need that, I need this. And when somebody is in distressful condition, oh God, why it is only for me, or Artharthi, and there is Jnani also. Those who are in the search of knowledge, they are the best among the 4 seekers. So, what is the nature of Jnani then? Who can be actually called Jnani? What are the qualities, or what is the nature that Jnani possess in them? So, Srimad Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter 17th slok states, Tesam Jnani niyukta nitya yukta, Tesam Jnani nitya yukta eka bhaktir vishishyate. Those jnani possess exclusive devotion for him and are always and completely absorbed in him, absorbed in Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Here Bhagavan Sri Krishna is not speaking of a so-called jnani who are busy investing and putting their all time and all energy and everything in materialistic accumulation and are devoid of bhakti. So here Bhagavan Krishna is not discussing about those materialistic people, those who are busy accumulating the materialistic things and are devoid of knowledge. To clarify this, he later says in Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter 19th slok, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Vahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate. After many births, the jnani who is endowed with the knowledge that everything means both conscious and inert, both matter and spiritual spirit are related to Vasudeva. Vasudeva sarvam iti. Vasudeva is everything, or the everything is there because it is related with Vasudeva. So such a person can only fully takes shelter of Bhagavan Sri Krishna, or here he says can take shelter of me. Such a great soul is extremely rare. Sudurlabha sa Mahatma. He says Atma means a living entity, a soul, but he says Mahatma means a great soul is extremely rare. The word jnani refers to knowledge that is not predominated by bhakti, but whereas knowledge that is inclined towards prema bhakti, or the knowledge which is driving us towards the path of prema bhakti, is known as jnana mishra bhakti. When one has made some progress in his sadhana and gives up jnana due to an abundance of divine love for Bhagavan Sri Krishna, pure exclusive devotion or the prema bhakti manifest in his heart. This jnana is for realizing that super soul in the heart, but when prema is mixed, or when bhakti is mixed with jnana, then it is called prema mishra jnana or bhakti mishra jnana, which will take a person, a sadhaka, in the stage of prema bhakti, or that prema bhakti loving devotion for Bhagavan Sri Krishna starts manifesting in the heart of sadhak. Now the quite frequently and mostly used word yoga, which nowadays has become yoga, but the word is yoga. Yoga means to add, to connect, or to join. Yoga in Vedic scriptures means to reestablish the connection or that relation between jiva, soul, and Ishvara, super soul, also known as Paramatma. So the term yoga specifically in Vedic literatures is used in the context of reestablishing that relationship between Jiva and Paramatma, or to make a living entity understand its constitutional position and its relation with Paramatma is called yoga. At the end of Srimad Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter, Bhagavan highly praised the yogis by stating that they are even superior to karmi, or those who performs their prescribed duty, or tapasvi, those who performs different kind of austerities, and jnanis, those who are in search of knowledge. He instructs Arjuna specifically to become a yogi. Tapasvi bhyo diko yogi, he says, hey Arjun, tapashyabhidhiko yogi. So even greater, adhiko yogi, yogi are in greater or higher platform than even tapasvi. Tapasvibhyadhiko yogi. Bhagavad Gita 6th chapter 46th slok. And in same chapter 47th slok after this tapasvibhyadhiko yogi, Bhagavan defines what kind of yogi. Yoginam api sarvesham mad gatenantaratmana. Among all kind of yogi. Yoginam api sarvesham. Sarvesham means among all. Yoginam, among all kind of yogis. Mat gatenantaratmana means the best are those who always faithfully performs bhajan for me. Mat gatenantaratmana, with their inner heart. Here the word me in this verse refers to Bhagavan Sri Krishna, who is a speaker of Bhagavad Gita. Therefore, when the Gita speaks of the yogi, it refers to the yogi who worships Bhagavan Sri Krishna in every way, accepting him as a supreme object of worship, or supreme object of meditation, supreme object of all our prayers, and a supreme bhakta, or the supreme enjoyer. In the Gita, yogi and yoga does not refer to some physical exercise, just doing some physical exercise, breathing exercise, or some physical exercise, stretching our body in the morning, or the sutra introduced by sage Patanjali. Nor does it refers to the activities of karmi, jnani, or tapasvi, or performers of dry austerities who are devoid of bhakti. So whenever in Srimad Bhagavad Gita the term yogi comes, we should be sure, because in Bhagavad Gita itself Bhagavan says, among all type of sarvesham api, among all types of yogi, mad gatena antaratmana, they should be from antaratma, from inner of their heart, inner of their self, they should be mad gata, should be in surrender, should be surrendered to Sri Bhagavan. So they are called the real yogi. Now the quite frequent used word and the essence of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the word bhakti, the sadhana paddhati, or the spiritual practice establishing the individual in the path of loving devotional service, is widely known as bhakti in general. After bestowing vision of his universal forms upon his devotee Arjuna, Bhagavan Sri Krishna tells him, Bhaktya tva ananya shakya aham evam vido Arjuna. Vision of this form of mine, that Virat Swarup, universal form, is only possible through exclusive devotion. You are my exclusive prema bhakta, premi bhakta. You have that loving relation in your heart towards me, and therefore you have seen it, or you are able to see it, you are able to grasp it. Furthermore, in Srimad Bhagavad Gita 18th chapter 55 slok, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Bhaktya mam avijanati. Only through pure devotion can someone know me. Bhaktiman avijanati. Janati means to know. So only through that pure devotion can somebody will see me, or will know me, or know me in truth, know me my real position, and can attain that loving service to me in my abode. At the end of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, after giving instruction on the confidential knowledge of the featureless aspect of Godhead, Brahma Jnana, it is called Brahma Jnana, means the knowledge of featureless aspects of Godhead. That Brahma Jnana, while imparting the knowledge of Brahma Jnana, the more confidential Paramatma Jnana, means the knowledge of this localized aspect of Supreme Lord Sri Hari, as we know, in each and every living entity. Paramatma, Bhagavan Sri Krishna Chandra, is residing in the heart of everyone as a Paramatma. He is actually running that neutron, proton and electron inside an atom as a Paramatma. It is because of presence of Paramatma in an atomic level, those neutrons, protons and electrons are moving around. So, Paramatma Jnana, knowledge of localized aspect of Supreme Lord Paramatma, and finally the most confidential Bhagavad Tattva Jnana, knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran mentions Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Sabdate. So, this those who are in the stage of realizing the truth, some realize in the stage of Brahmeti, Brahma Jnana, some in Paramatmeti level of stage of localized form of Bhagavan Sri Hari, Paramatma, and Bhagavan iti sabdate in the level of Bhagavat Tattva Jnana, knowledge of Supreme Personality, with all rasa presiding in him. So, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajyam mam ekam sharanam vraja. Abandon all types of, all varieties of religiosity or religious activities and surrender exclusively to me. Gita 18th chapter 66 slok. So, in this verse, Bhagavan Sri Krishna instructs Arjuna to surrender to him, giving up all worldly religiosity. By this, he established that bhakti is the only means to attain his complete form, or to attain the Bhagavan with all the rasa in him. To attain that rasa vigraha, bhakti is one and only means or the path. Such bhakti now are of two types. So, even bhakti there are of two types. So, among two types, there is one called Kevala Bhakti, which is exclusive bhakti, and next is Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti. So, Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti means mixed with another process predominating over it, like mixed with karma, but bhakti is predominating that karma, or mixed with jnana, but bhakti is predominating the karma jnana. So, this is called Pradhani Bhuta. Exclusive devotion or the Kevala Bhakti is devoid of the slightest scent of reward seeking actions, karma, or empiric knowledge, jnana, and so on, so forth, and is completely independent also. Bhakti is not dependent in karma or jnana, because a person without a jnana can be bhakta or can attain that stage of bhakti, or the person who is doing nothing about karma yoga still can be bhakta. So, bhakti is completely independent in itself. Devotion that is mixed with another process of yoga and predominating over the process is called Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti, and Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti is again of three kinds. There are three kinds of Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti. First, Bhakti is of two types, Kevala and Pradhani Bhuta, and among Kevala it is only pure devotional service, not mixed with unalloyed type of devotional service is Kevala Bhakti, and Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti. Pradhani Bhuta Bhakti is of three types, and among three types, one is Karma Pradhani Bhuta. Karma Pradhani Bhuta, in which devotion predominates over one's prescribed duty above karma, and next is Jnana Pradhani Bhuta. So, in Jnana Pradhani Bhuta is it is a devotional service in which devotion predominates over the knowledge or a Jnana Yoga, and next is called Karma Jnana Pradhani Bhuta. So, this Karma Jnana Pradhani Bhuta, in this process of devotion, devotional service predominates over a mixture of prescribed duties and knowledge. So, when karma and jnana are devoid of the inclination to perform bhakti, they are simply called karma and jnana respectively. Although in some places in Gita, Bhagavan give instruction on devotion that predominates over another process, like predominating over karma or predominating over jnana. Even those same places also, that actually certainly indicates exclusive devotion. To know Bhagavan through pradhani bhuta bhakti, or to attend him by this pradhani bhuta bhakti, three types of pradhani bhuta bhakti, is very rare cases and are very difficult. Therefore, in Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter 14th slok, Bhagavan Sri Krishna states that he is easily attained through exclusive devotion, ananya bhakti, or the kevala bhakti. Bhagavan Krishna says, ananyas cheta satatam yo mam ismaratihi nityasa tesam shulabha. Those who are ananya cheta, those who are satatam yo mam ismaratihi nityasa, those who do my ismaran, those who think about me always, and those who are ananya cheta, tesam shulabha partha, for them I am shulabha, means easily attainable. Nitya yukta sa yogina, I am attained by those who are in nitya yukta yogi. I am easily attained by those eternal yogis who, being endowed with exclusive devotion and always remember of me, always think about me, and those who worships me with ananya bhava, means fully surrender devotion. Furthermore, in Srimad Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter 22nd slok, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says how he is controlled by the exclusive loving service, loving devotional service of his devotees who are endowed with ananya bhakti. He says, ananyas chintayanto mam yejana pariupasate tesam nityabhiyuktanam yoga chevam vahamyaham. Here Bhagavan says, actually I myself provide and maintain the needs of those devotees who exclusively worship me and who are always engaged in bhakti. Those who are completely and always engaged in bhakti. I protect them, I protect their whatever they have, and I give them whatever they need. Vahamyaham. I carry all the responsibilities. In one sense, Bhagavan is saying those who are ananyas chintayanto mam, for them I take all the responsibility to myself. So, in various places throughout the Gita, Bhagavan Sri Krishna states that he can only be attained through exclusive devotion. Bhaktya lavyasta ananya, Gita 8:22, and Bhagavan says bhajayanta ananya manasoho in 9:13, and he says bhaktya tva ananya sakya, he says in Gita 11:54, and he says sarva dharman parityajam mam ekam saranam braja in 1866. He says aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshasyami ma shucha. So this multiple times he keeps repeating. It is thus verified and proved that Vishuddha Bhakti, or also called Ananya Bhakti or Kevala Bhakti, is the ultimate goal of living entities. The Ananya Bhakti should be the ultimate aim of any living entities. Now, how should one practice this Ananya Bhakti? The question comes, Bhagavan Sri Krishna instructs Arjuna saying that Satatam Kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridha brata. So, he says, Namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasatehe. So here Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, constantly remembering Bhagavan Sri Krishna, or constantly chanting the glories of name of Bhagavan Sri Hari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Calling him out of love, Govinda, Gopal, Narayan. So constantly chanting the glories of names of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Constantly remembering and meditating on his qualities, his forms, his pastimes, and endeavoring with determined vows and offering obeisances with devotion, they engage in my worship, remaining always connected with me. Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 14th slok. So by this verse, Bhagavan Sri Krishna teaches that Sankirtan is the best method to worship him. Calling his name out of love could be the best method of worshipping Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Here, when we say about Sankirtan, means the loud singing of Bhagavan names, doing katha on his lila, on his pastimes, and meditating on his forms, and describing his pastimes as a Bhagavad Katha, as a Hari Katha. It alludes to other limbs of bhakti to every sadhaka. Many insolently people, they try to understand the Gita with their material knowledge, and they also instruct other in the same way as per their understanding. They do not know, however, that the Gita is transcendental, beyond any mundane knowledge, mundane logic, self-concocted logic, and the material intellect. It is beyond the reach of a pride, valor, heroism, and erudition. It can be understood only by the mercy of Bhagavan and bestowed upon one who is surrendered. So, hence the Shruti, especially Mundaka Upanishad, states, or it mentions, Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhyo. The Supreme Lord is not obtained by expert explanation or the pravachana, pravachanena labhyo, by vast intelligence, nor by much of hearing. He is obtained only by one whom he himself gives that mercy. Tesam shatata yuktanam dadami buddhi yogam tam, Bhagavan says, upon those who lovingly performs bhajan, who lovingly performs that service or the chant or call his name out of love and yearn for his eternal associations. To them, Bhagavan gives his words that he will bestow that transcendental knowledge by which they can attain Bhagavan Sri Krishna. This he mentions in Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, 10th slok. Hare Krishna.